Ohio. Maan, the city in the south of Jordan, the administrative center of the governorate of Maan of the same name, which is the largest and least densely populated administrative formation of Jordan. It is located in 218 km to the south from Amman, in the Intermountain Valley at the height of 1108 m above sea level. Maan is located in the desert, therefore climate here hot. Maan is mentioned in the Bible. Judges chapter 10 the verse 11. Is the capital of the people which were at war with Jews. Now Nena, the Tsar of Judea Uzziah won Maan during the campaigns on the south. In the territory of modern Maan there was a civilization since the Nabataean kingdom. The new city is slightly to the northwest from his old location. Now in Maan there are two main Al-Hedhazan clans. Hijaz in Saudi Arabia and Al-Shamin from Syria. The population of the city gradually grows since the middle of the 20th century. So in 1970 in the city there were about 900 inhabitants. By the beginning of their 90th years, 1994, there were already 22989 people, in 2004, 26461 persons, and by 2007 the population increased up to 27573 people. Economy. Maan is shopping center of the southern part of the country. In the city there are tobacco production and the handicraft enterprises for production of textile products. In Maan, the new economic zone in Jordan, which received the name Special Economic Zone Maan Special Economic Zone, was created. So far with her basis in the city, production of fruit only increased, but more widely the industrial enterprises will have to take root further. Maan is the dusty, poor Jordanian town from which it is possible to reach the main attraction of Jordan, Petra. This city is considered the important transport hub in the country, being located on the ancient Royal Way. The trade direction, originating in Egypt and coming through the Sinai Peninsula to the Gulf of Aqaba. Further the track turned on the north to Damascus and two sources of Euphrates. In the city there is a railway station of the so-called Hijaz Railroad. It is constructed in 1904. And also it is large road knot, being located on the route Amman, Aqaba. Pastano Highway. Also in Maan there is a local airfield. Maan is the most restless and rebellious city of Jordan. When in the country there pass different protests and demonstrations, they take the most extreme and radical forms exactly here. So, in 1984 here even the King Hussein, for suppression of the protesting inhabitants, was forced to arrive personally. Other large conflict of the government and locals took place in 2003. In the desert. In Daf, near Maan, there is a military base where at the beginning of 2003, together with tanks, helicopters and other armored vehicles, several thousands of American soldiers settled down. One of the versions explaining finding of foreign military forces. The American soldiers, and it is possible also the British special troops. In the territory of Jordan is use of her territory for penetration into the western part of Iraq during military operations of the 2003 year. The government of Jordan didn't hide information on arrangement of 600 American soldiers in the territory of the country, but explained their stay only with need of training of the Jordanian soldiers and defensive functions in case of missile strike from Iraq. Stay of foreign military forces in the territory of Jordan and contribution to their penetration on the territory of Iraq, thereby aggravating the military conflict, caused sharp discontent of the population of Maan. Then through the whole country there took place anti-war demonstrations and meetings in Maan. They were the most reactionary and aggressive. Locals, preparing for performances, called the demonstration a March of Coffins, meaning under that they will be ready to die to condemn actions of the government. Besides, Maan is considered the restless city in terms of criminal activity and terrorist activity. In 2002 in Maan, 4 activists of the radical Islamist group headed by Gil Mohammed al-Shalabi committing assaults on police officers and military and also involved in a number of the organizations and murders in the city were detained. The same year in Maan, the American diplomat Lawrence Foley, who became the first representative of the West, the dead in Jordan, was killed. The situation in Maan was intense after one of leaders of Islamists, Mohammed Shalabi, was wounded in firefight with police. Security services of Jordan for search of the terrorists involved in murder were sent to the city. Operation on their search received the name Maansky Operation. As a result of her implementation, about 100 people were interrogated. The main suspect was found, but locals refused to give him to the authorities. In this connection, there was a need of intervention of law enforcement agencies. Mentions and works. Maan is mentioned in the book by Lawrence Aravisky, 7 Pillars of Wisdom, where one of heads is devoted to a siege of the city. Originally the book taught as memoirs of the Arab Revolt of 1916-1918, but subsequently incorporated many facts from the history of World War I. Based on the book, the film Lawrence Aravisky was shot. The first of them was Maan. First of all, we had to seize him. If the strengthened vehicles gave big mobility to parts of the Arab regular army, they could take a position in several miles to the north from Maan and cut off for a long time the railroad, having forced thereby garrison of the last to act and begin with them battle, and in the field Arabs easily would inflict defeat over Turks. We would need 700 pack camels, confidence that until we are busy by Maan, we won't undergo the flank attack from Amman is a lot of guns and machine guns, and at last. Lawrence Aravisky, 7 Pillars of Wisdom. I spent the next days in observation of operations. People of an Abutaya occupied 2 outposts to the east from the station, and Sheikh Salah ibn Shafia took a parapet with 1 machine gun and 20 prisoners. These 1 fights allowed us to surround freely Maan, and for the 3rd day Jafar brought together all artillery on the southern range, and Nuri Said led group on storm of the railway station. Lawrence Aravisky, 7 Pillars of Wisdom. Maan proved to me that Arabs are rather resolute also without urgings on of British. Thus, our defeat was not vain, having facilitated us drawing up further plans. Lawrence Aravisky, 7 Pillars of Wisdom. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.